Oscar Overlander, welcome back to my channel. The past 2 weeks went by since I posted my last video, and I must admit it was a pretty eventful 2 weeks, because we received a important shipment, let's say, an important shipment. I was waiting for that more than half a year, so it's all hidden underneath the blue tarp. I don't want to reveal what it is, because it is definitely another topic, another video worth probably more than one. So we get to that later in the build, but it took time to receive that, pick it up, unload it and stuff like that. So these days I can't do anything on the next step of my build, which was the panorama window you see here. This is more or less done now, and how I made it and what I used for it, I will show you that in the video right now. Today I will continue working on my panorama window, the one which contains an extra window in the hatch, basically. Well, let me show you. So I have the pan, very similar to, it's just a pan, 2 millimeter thick material, aluminum. You know, that lip here is 1 inch, and the corners are already closed. I welded them and grinded them flat. Now next will be, everything is extremely cold. You can see my fingerprint, condensation on it. It's just wet. It's wet. Everything is wet. It's too cold. I'm trying to keep the shop warm with the heater. It is like fighting windmills. It is winter, it is January, and very cold. Now, not really very cold, but it is extremely wet. For every glue work, it's kind of an enemy, right? So, next step is putting in this stabilizer frame, which I had already welded. I did that when I was welding the hatch stabilizer frames. I did that as well. So now I'm going to glue this in here, right that. Glue this in, and then is this pan actually stabilized, you know, like, because it's not so twistable, flimsy anymore. And what I'm going to do then is, if this is glued in, then I cut this out, because this is the opening for the actual window. The viewers of my channel, they know. So unfortunately, I have only white Sikaflex 252, but the color can't be seen if it is installed. Okay? And now I can place that right into the pan, which I have prepared already with activator and primer. Now this frame goes right in here. Okay, now I have to squish it down. Yeah, you should have 2 millimeter gap to that the glue works the best. That's a 2 millimeter. Yeah, it's bigger. I have to clamp it down because the glue is pretty stiff, and I have to force them down a little. Otherwise, glue the thermal strips on it, and then the inner frame on it, and I'm above that lip, and that's what I don't want. I want to stay flush with it so it looks perfect. In the summertime, I didn't need so many clamps because the glue was way softer, of course, you know, that it didn't show so much resistance. I don't know how many clamps I have on here, but it clamped it down pretty good. It's squeezing out now. I double checked with my 2 millimeter strip here if I can push them underneath. Yeah, next, as I said, I will cut out this, and then I have the exact measurement for the frame, the window frame, for this small window which is in the middle there. I did cut the window frame out, and also I welded already the window frame up. I just have to clean them up. Is it hot? No. It's I just finished welding. It's still completely black there. This surface needs to be cleaned because that's the gluing surface. Now I had this window frame glued in overnight. Now I removed the clamps and as you can see, the excessive glue is coming out. It's all squirted out. I have to trim this back and then caulk the edges all the way around the window frame, as I did on the whole Habitat on every other window frame. Now I have insulated the inside of my Panorama hatch. So you see there is the 1-inch layer. There's already a 1-inch layer beneath in those squares. And then there in the gaps there's foam everywhere. And then the second layer. So now I'm just holding it down until the foam is cured. And I take this away. And I will apply Armaflex. I do have Armaflex left. So a third layer of this insulation would be too tall, because this is the ledge where my inside cover basically rests on, which will be glued into this frame. But well, let me apply the Armaflex first here on this surface, because this is squishable to a certain extent. This is what the sandwich looks like. Now here's the thermal break first, or the second layer actually, because in the pan is already the first, second, and then the Armaflex as a kind of squishable insulation, and then the interior panel, and then over that goes now the that frame there. It's covered right over and then fastened all together. Now this is what it looks like now at this stage. I have the inner frame on it now. I had some steel screws in here because the steel screws simply hold much more. So just to squish the glue together and the whole package basically together so that this is flush, I use steel screws everywhere, and I'm not running into this danger that my screws basically snapping off. And now I just exchanged them to stainless steel screws, so I have no corrosion going on there. They're all stainless steel now. Now this is the outside again, but I will install the window now, and also install the piano hinge. And here I have chosen a way heavier, sturdier piano hinge, stainless steel. So I have to pre-drill and countersink, and then I will install it with riv nuts. Riv nuts into the Panorama hatch, and also riv nuts into the frame on the Habitat. This is now my Panorama hatch. Basically, this is the whole hatch. Here I have a drip edge above this window. As you may know, if you watch my channel and you saw how I prepared the Habitat for painting, then you know there is above the hedge part, this is the hedge part, this is the window part. Above the hedge is also a drip edge, so I have two drip edges basically above each other, which prevents that running water is running onto the piano hinge, which is installed up here already. And here it prevents, this drip edge prevents running water into the upper gap of the window. So we have no water penetrating that gap basically, or less, let's say. Yeah, so this is in case of the drip edges. I have two drip edges above each other. The piano hinge I just mentioned is stainless steel, 1/8 in thickness. Each leg length is 1 inch, so in total is 2 inch. It's a pretty heavy duty stainless steel piano hinge. It came with no holes. I drilled the holes and countersunk it myself the way I wanted it, and then stainless steel screws mounted into the hedge. Same way I will install it on the Habitat then, this way. Here I have a window in there which operates through the handle from the inside, and you can flip it open, right? And you have airflow coming in for rainy days if you want. The functionality of this whole thing is this whole hatch will be able to flip up 90 degrees, and you have basically this whole thing open. Behind here will be the dining table, right, or the diner in general. Yeah, so it has a panoramic view kind of thing, character. And for normal days, normal use, or not so good weather days, you can open that window individually. That's the sense of the panorama window. So let me show you from the underside. I'll take you with me. Here, quick view, the hinge install. As you can see, there is stainless steel flat screws. So here's the inside. On the inside, I have a powder coated frame. On the inside, wood, as you saw in the video, on the inside as well. I have not waxed it yet. I also need to get myself a 90 degrees half by half inch angle to cover this up, the cutout. That will be PVC, a PVC angle, white on the inside to hide that gap here. And then also there will be the attachment for the strut, for the gas strut on both sides. I organized myself already a stainless steel flat, which I will install with rib nuts here and then mount it right on there, and then the ball receiver and then the strut. What I have here is it called AXA Oyster. AXA Oyster. And what that is a nice stainless steel restrictor. It's an opening restrictor. That will be installed on the inside. Now I will probably drop it. Here on the inside. It restricts the hatch in two positions. This is the, let's say this is the closed position. And then you can open it a little bit for airflow. There's a position right there. As you see, the first one for airflow. And you can even go all the way. And then it is fairly open. You can stick the hand through, I would assume, to the outside. Of course, you have to do it where you have no bugs or anything, because I do not have a bug screen over the whole hatch. I have only a bug screen over that window here later on. Yeah. So yeah, that is a restrictor, nice stainless steel. I love it. I love the look of it. And then later on I will come up with a locking mechanism to lock it inside the habitat. So why the restrictor is basically, you can leave the hatch a little bit open for airflow at night, and nobody will be able to open it in full. So I hope this video was helpful for someone who plans to install a panorama window and can't find a supplier. Because when you Google them or when you try to search them online, there's not many fabricators of these type of panorama hatches, let's say. Yeah. And if you find somebody, they have most likely no capacity in the next 1 or 2 years, and the prices are whoa. Yeah, so but I must admit, this is a lot of work. It's very time consuming, because all the glues had to dry overnight, and then you can't continue on the same day, so it stretched over weeks to get this to the stage where it is right now. I'm not saying it's not worth spending so much money, especially for somebody who is not able to do it by himself, but prices vary somewhere from 3,500 to 6,000 euro. Convert that into your currency, then you know what we're talking about, plus shipping. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody to maybe make your own. This is it from us. I will have an update on my habitat next week as well, because I started already installing my windows. I can't paint this, as I said multiple times, that's why I have to find something else to do. So I installed my windows. Today I'm going to prep my glass units. They are in the back there. I put all these Swiss Air valves in it, which was content of my video, which I link up here. That's what I'm doing today, prep all the glass units, and I will glaze my habitat as far as I can. I have the kitchen, bedroom and the bathroom window installed. As next, I have to tackle the door. That will be content of upcoming videos, and also, yeah, that later. Have a good one.